Chevy teams meet during the rain delay to discuss the drafting strategy, and Jim Campbell reportedly wanted one single file line of Chevys. Brett, spot on, spot off.
Spot on, man. It's a great PR move, right? I mean, he called a meeting, and I think he got a lot of press out of it. And, I never really saw this plan prevail. I think this is a great plan for pit windows, getting on and off pit road. At the end of the day, man, we've all got a lot on the line, and I don't care if it's a Chevy, Toyota, Ford, or who's with me, as long as somebody's with me. And here's the thing, man. Here's the funnel, right? We don't race without OEMs. You know, our OEMs are extremely important to us putting a product on the track. Chevrolet, Toyota, Ford, they bring a lot to the table for these race teams. But when you break it down, they're not all A teams, okay? Chevrolet has Hendrick. They have Ganassi.
Childers.
They have RCR. And then these other Chevrolet teams they're making all these demands out of, what are they really doing for them? Giving them sheet metal? Because they're not giving them wind tunnel time. They're not doing all the other things they're doing for these A-level teams. Same for Toyota, right? Toyota's got its big team, which is Gibbs. There's really isn't another Toyota team. You know, Ford has Stewart, Haas, Penske, and then Roush. You know, I mean, that's kind of the Penske, Stewart, Haas is probably their A team. Roush is B plus after that. But OEMs are extremely important. Well, then you have the organization, Penske, Stewart, Haas, Hendrick, whoever that is. Then within that, you have the team, the 14 team. Then within that, you have the driver, Clint Bowyer. At the end of the day, when this thing is coming down to the end of stages and the end of the race, the only people that wants to win is every single driver. If you think Bubba Wallace is going to stay in line to push Alex Bowman to win a race, he's not going to. That's why he's made it to the Cup Series, because he wants to win the race. So you can't micromanage these races, and that's what I feel like. I think that was the anti-PR feel for me was you can't. This guy can't. Jim Campbell can't tell us how this is going to play out. If he's so smart, he'd have told us who was going to win the race before the race started.
Well, I think they probably. I mean, they were trying, but like you said, you can't. Like it looks good on paper, looks really good on paper. Hey, you guys all line up. 9, 88, 24, 48. Then 3, 8. You guys all line up. Nobody's good. You guys all just stay right with each other. They'll never beat us like that. Well, the problem is you get lined up there and you're running the middle, bottom, whatever. The other lane starts moving. Those cars pull you apart.
Yeah.
And then you start getting gaps, and then that lane moves, and then everything gets shuffled. As soon as somebody puts somebody 3 wide, one of them cars is out of line. And this package has evolved enough now that I don't know if those cars obviously had the Hendrick cars were obviously the straight pure speed, great by themselves. But man, the race started. Man, it wasn't you couldn't do what was happening before. It's great to have team there, and I think teamwork now is greater than it's ever been. But still, man, it's a battle, man, and it's evolved enough that it's super racy now. And guys that don't have a lot on the line or a guy like Stenhouse racing for a job more than likely somewhere.
Right. No, for sure.
And he showed it.
Yeah.
He was proving it. He's out there like, look, I'm racing for a job. But he was also, I will say, he was great help. He was he was a great help. In that race, for us at least. Too.
I never once looked for Stewart Haas Racing teammates in that race, and it's because I was never really around them. I literally looked at Penske as the guys that I wanted to have around me because they were the guys that wanted to be up front, that were racing aggressively. I was with the 2 and the 22 pretty much all day until I had the tire go down.
I was calling Stewart Haas guys teammates. So that pull your teammates. I was using them as teammates.
Well, there's a loyalty there,
Yeah,
but it goes back to Dale Jr., Michael Waltrip. Those guys won a lot of races together because they stayed loyal to one another. Because what happens is you're going to get screwed in the draft. But if you have somebody that's willing to pick you up, it unscrews you really fast.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with these alliances.
Or when somebody makes a move on you to hang you, you know what I mean? Like a guy makes a move on you, you got your guy right there. Here he comes.
And that's what Dale Jr. and Michael did. They were the first ones to really do this and perfect it, and they won a lot of plate races during that era, being very loyal to one another, which was really being loyal to their team.
Yep.
They started it.
Brett, you tweeted that all the Chevy spotters were standing next to each other on the roof.
So I landed and had already heard, comments that there were spotters that had been there that taped their place off, right? So I was like, well, I guess we'll go look. And typically this doesn't matter, Jason, because we already kind of know where we stand. But this is a plate race. It's extremely important
a new stand, too.
where we're going to go, right? And because it's a brand new stand, nobody knows where they're going to stand at. I've stood beside Joey Meyer at plate races, Daytona and Talladega, for as long as I can remember. And he and I are no longer going to stand together because our stand is gone. It's a new stand. So I get there, and TJ had his little 4 spots taped off. Rocky Ryan, who's he spot for?
Front row. Reagan.
David Reagan, who did a hell of a job yesterday. Rocky Ryan had taped off about 10 spots, and then Chevrolet had taped off 14 spots. So when I get to the racetrack, 27 or 28 spots out of 38 have already been reserved. And I'm like, what the is this? We're a bunch of grown men. Can't we get here and establish where we're going to be? Or why doesn't NASCAR step in and have a method, which we used to? You would qualify, and then once you qualify, based on where you qualified, you got to pick where you stand. Well, as it all kind of got figured out, it was like, you know what, I'll just keep standing here. And this was a long time ago. But when we get to a place like that, everybody's looking for a competitive advantage. But to have a motor coach driver and to have whoever did it for Chevrolet tape off all those spots, like, how childish is this? To me, I was just what is this?
When you got to the rail, and as soon as you got to the little walkway up to it, it was from there all the way to the right, just marked off like
Chevrolet blocked half the roof.
Yeah.
And then Rocky had blocked half the Chevrolet drivers that he's buddies with. Well, they didn't need his spots. It's just to me, it's just a childish mess. And I just literally what
it's going to be like that anytime we have a new spotter stand, which we don't have any coming anytime soon. So
life goes on. Anyway.
TJ, I want to get your thought on one more tweet. Todd Gordon told SiriusXM Monday morning that the 22 team monitored some other teams' radios and heard Larson and Johnson being advised to avoid working with Joey Logano in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, color me surprised. I mean,
is it like the Todd Gordon the one monitoring the channels to hear that stuff, or
it's engineers? It's all kind of people.
Engineers. I mean,
you're hurting yourself though, man. I mean, if I'm a Chevrolet guy and I know that 22 is as fast as he is and he's going to help me not helping him is only hurting me.
Yeah, you know what? This is not the first time that I've been asked about this. To me, this is a huge compliment. You know, thank you for not wanting to help somebody like that. That's a huge compliment that I'll take it as a compliment. No sense getting mad at it. I mean, I didn't expect help from them anyway. So
yeah.
But if they don't want you up there, there's a reason they don't want you up there. But you're right. There's 2 ways you can approach it. Do you push that guy out there because he's going to be there, and then maybe try to shuffle him, or just don't help him on your way there because he's probably going to find his way there.
He's going to find his way back up there.
He's going to find his way there. So you might as well ride the train while you can.
Joey is too good in the draft, and his car is too fast to not find his way up there. Terrible approach.
Yeah. Thank you for the compliment.
Spotting is hard, but moving is even harder.
But we can make it easy. Use OfferPad or OfferPad.com to sell your home, and TJ is going to load up the truck and help you move your stuff.
No, OfferPad will help you move, and that's no joke.
OfferPad.com. Move freely.